Time now to talk tech, thanks to our partners Noel Leeming. Kiwis have lost more than $3 billion to scammers in the last year alone. This is according to NetSafe's State of the Scams report released yesterday. With scammers' methods becoming more and more sophisticated, how can new technology and government legislation help protect us? Paul Spain's with Gorilla Tech, and he's the CEO with us this morning. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got this $3 billion number from NetSafe. Payments NZ are reporting $265 million, so it's somewhere in that range.
Wait,
that's quite a big range. So
quite the range.
Yeah.
How can we not know how? Especially if we're talking about billions of dollars, how can we not know how much?
Well, NetSafe, in terms of if you look at the data that they publish on what's reported to them. It's below the $265 million number we've seen from Payments NZ, but they're collecting a lot of international data and then extrapolating it out by our population. So very hard to know, because probably most people that get scammed by something online aren't necessarily going to report it.
Right. So what we know for certain is only around $200 million, and we're guessing the rest.
Something like that.
Okay. Should we even be doing the segment, Paul?
Look, I think the $250 million number, that's been shared, that is verifiable from banks, is a serious number anyway, right? So there's a few things that concern me. One, the role of the social media companies in pushing a lot of these things on us. So Reuters have done a report, an investigation on Meta, and found something like 10% of Meta's revenue is coming from scam and fraud. And so we've got the situation where social media companies are actually incentivized to run this advertising, and in fact Meta up their rates when they suspect it's fraud, and it's only the top 5% of what they suspect that they will block. The rest contributes to their financial success.
So not only are they benefiting from fraud, but they know they are.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
So they're just scumbags, aren't they?
Yeah, and then the flip side is our banks are saying, in conjunction with the government, that they're going to pay back up to $500,000 in some scam scenarios. Now, I think this is problematic because, in which scenarios are they going to pay back? I think an individual getting scammed isn't necessarily going to be thinking about that scenario, but the banks are maybe having to pick up the tab on something that a social media company has facilitated. So that's a real problem.
Just one a-hole screwing another, basically. Social media giants and banks. All right, so what about the government here? What's they're looking at, obviously, legislating. What legislation are we talking about, and can anything actually help fix it?
So they're putting more onus on the banks, and that's that $500,000 commitment if the banks found to have effectively been negligent in their actions. So what that means is we're going to see a lot more of banks asking, well, what's this payment for? What are you doing? Maybe then pushing more education on customers. So it may make it a little bit harder for us to actually interact with our banks if they're getting a bit more pushy about protecting themselves. Then they're probably going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with.
It's a Fraud Awareness Week, which, I think everyone's aware, but it's just that sometimes you forget and then you get tripped up.
Yeah, so OwnYourOnline.govt.nz is a website that folks can go to. If you think you've been scammed or you're not sure, you've clicked on an advert and you're being sold something, someone's trying to elicit money from you and you're not 100% sure, that's a place you can go to check. I think important for us to recognise that this is a ongoing problem, and even our best and brightest are getting caught out. Let's not forget Team New Zealand, $2.8 million that they paid to a scammer. So this really can happen to anybody, anytime. So we need to stop and check and then report if we think we've come across something. But we need to slow down when we're doing anything that involves transactions, sharing our identity and so on, and also making sure we're using those unique passwords with everything that we do online.